Hello everyone, and welcome to my Vinyasa class. It's been a little while since I've gotten to teach Vinyasa because of my back injury, but I'm excited to offer this to you all today. Today I'll be using 2 blocks, so if you have those, go ahead and grab them. You don't have to have them for this practice, but I will be using them as a gentle modification. We'll begin in a comfortable seat, so you can sit in your Sukhasana, easy seat, or in your hero's pose, sitting back on your heels. Lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders, let your hands rest on your legs. You can close your eyes or gently gaze at the floor. And take a few gentle breaths here, just to drop into this moment and into this practice. Call in any intention that you wish to carry with you today. Any spiritual force that you feel connected to, call that in. Let's bring one hand to our heart and the other to our belly as we deepen our breath. Ignite your Ujjayi breathing. Your lips are sealed, you're breathing in and out through your nose. Draw this breath out as long as you can, really exaggerating the breath. With each inhale, you feel your body expand as you take up space. And with each exhale, you feel the body soften as you gently surrender to the present moment. And just breathe, clearing your mind. Let go of anything that you may be carrying with you that will distract you from this practice, from being present. Just trust that it will be there later for you to take care of. This time here on our mat is for us to strengthen this inner connection that we have with ourselves, with spirit, so we can live in harmony with the world around us. Let's take 3 more deep cleansing breaths here, in and out through your nose. And let your eyes gently flutter open. On your inhale, reach the hands up and over your head so the palms touch. And then draw your hands to heart center for Anjali Mudra. Press the palms together and your thumbs are pressing into the center of your chest. From this heart space, let's sing the sound of Om together. This reminds us that we are all one, that we are all connected. Inhale. Take a moment here to appreciate the silence of this moment and stillness. And let your eyes gently flutter open. We'll begin on our hands and knees in tabletop. Wrists stack under your shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's move through our cat-cow. Inhale, lower the belly, gaze up as we begin to stretch the spine. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Draw your belly button in. And continue this breath to movement flow. Keep the core active. Really press your hands and feet into the earth. Then begin to invite in some organic movement. So you can start to make circles with the hips or shoulders. You can look side to side, opening the side bodies. Let's take about 5 more rounds of breath here as we wake up our joints. This is our warm-up, a chance to check in with our body. Are there any spaces that feel tight or tender? This is a practice of compassion, so once we are aware of what we need, we can give ourselves just that. And come back to center. Go ahead and grab your blocks. Set them out in front of you, making the number 11. And you want to fit 2 fists right between the blocks. That's about shoulder width distance. We'll tuck our toes, send the hips high for a downward facing dog. If you don't have blocks, that's fine. Just go ahead and find your regular down dog. If you do have the blocks, walk your hands back to the back edge so that the heel of your hand finds some tension with the back of the blocks. Lengthen the back of your neck. You can take a gentle bend in your knees to begin here, really stretching and lengthening the spine. Let's find a little bit of breath to movement. So on the inhale breath, lift your heels up off the ground. Exhale, soften them back down. Let's do that a few more times. Breath to movement, really opening up the back of the legs. Keep the core active. Let's do 2 more of those. And then take your feet a little wider than your mat. Turn the toes out 45 degrees. Let's start to make some circles with the hips here. You can bend your knees as much as you'd like. Slow, deep breath as we open up the hips. Let's take those circles in the opposite direction. And come back to center. Bring the feet back to hips width distance. Your toes are facing forward. Relax your head and just take 3 breaths here in your downward facing dog. Down dog is a practice within itself. We use full body engagement here. Feel the back of the legs, stretch open, take another deep breath. And look forward. Between the hands, begin to walk your feet forward, stacking your heels right underneath your hips. You can bend your knees, relax your head. Let's take a ragdoll. You can grab opposite elbows. Relax your head and your shoulders, your face. Let go of anything in your mind that may be weighing you down. Feel any anxiety just melt off of your shoulders. Give it back to the earth. And release your hands to the ground. Slowly bend your knees. Begin to rise up, stacking 1 vertebrae at a time. We'll take our mountain pose. Hands are open by your sides. Big toes touch. Roll the shoulders back and together. Close your eyes. Take a few breaths here, just standing in your power. Return to the intention that you set for this practice. We'll take a few sun salutations. So in your next inhale breath, reach your hands up and over your head so the palms touch. Let's take a back bend on the exhale. Cactus your elbows, squeeze the core. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold, hands to heart center, relax your head. Inhale, halfway lift. You can press your hands into your shins to lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax your head, forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach your hands up and over your head so the palms touch. Exhale, take a back bend. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, forward fold, hands through heart center. 1 more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, use your core to rise up. Reach the hands up and over your head. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands on your blocks. Step back to your plank pose. Shoulders stack right over the wrists. Your core is strong. Let's take a few breaths here to really warm up the body. You can point and flex the feet a few times, shifting forward and back, really feeling your core muscles turn on and light up. Let's take another deep breath here. We'll do a little bit more of core conditioning. So you're going to bring your left knee to your left elbow. Take a breath. And come back to your plank pose. Other side, right knee to right elbow. Take a breath. Come back to your plank pose. Let's do that side to side, breath to movement. For 3. And 2. And 1. Really press through your hands here. Downward facing dog. Relax your head. Take 3 restorative breaths. Samasthihi. Find the balance. Shakti and Shiva. Fire and water. And look forward. Bring your knees to the earth. Knees together, feet together. Tuck the toes under. Sit back onto your heels. Make sure those pinky toes get tucked under. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Just take a few breaths here, feeling the feet stretch out. Let's take a nice deep lion's breath. Inhale together. Bring your hands back down to the blocks, untuck your toes, tap out your feet on the earth. Keep the feet flat this time, sit back again. Hands rest back and behind you. Draw the shoulders together, lift the chest. Option to stay here or lift your knees off the mat. Let's take 3 deep breaths as we stretch out the top of the feet. And slowly lower your knees back down. Find your blocks. Let's take them up to the highest level this time. And we'll start with our left leg forward. You're going to bring the foot outside of your left block and then lunge into your hips into a nice lizard lunge. Look forward, really press through your hands to lengthen to the crown of your head. If you don't have blocks, you can bring your hands to the earth. And really lengthen up through the spine here. So we're not coming down the elbows. We're not releasing the head. We're really leading forward with our heart. Draw the shoulders back and together. Let's take another deep breath. And we're going to heel toe our left foot to the center of our blocks or to the center of our mat. And then lunge forward again, coming into low crescent moon. Option to use your blocks as support here, or you can reach the hands up and over your head. Lengthen up through the fingertips here if you take that variation. Either way, we're lengthening through our spine. Keep the core engaged. Take a nice deep breath. Hands come back down to your blocks or to the earth. Straighten your left leg. Shift the hips back. Round the spine. We're in half Hanumanasana. Let's take 2 deep breaths right here. Going a little bit deeper into our hamstrings. We'll take a breath to movement practice here. So on the inhale, you're going to lunge forward into your knee, lengthen the spine. Exhale, straighten the leg, forward fold, chin to chest. Inhale, lift the spine, pull the hips forward. Exhale, straighten the leg, round the spine. Continue this breath to movement a few more times. Getting deep into our hips. You just start to feel the psoas muscle stretch open. It's at the front of your right hip. Come back to center. We're just going to bring that left knee back in line with the right one. And we'll take that on the other side. Bring the right foot forward outside the block. Lunge into your hips, look forward, lengthen through your spine. Press your hands into the earth or into your blocks and just breathe here. Hips can be a very sensitive space, so as any thoughts come up, any feelings, just breathe through them, allowing them to be there. But returning to your practice, to your inner stillness. Let's heel toe that right foot in between our blocks, coming into our low crescent moon lunge. You can use your blocks as support, or if you'd like to reach your hands up and over your head, you can do that. Lengthen through the spine, to the fingertips, and then lunge a little deeper into your pose here. Let's take a nice deep breath. Hands back down to the earth. Straighten that right leg, forward fold. half Hanumanasana. Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through our nose. Let's find our breath to movement flow here. Inhale, lift the chest, lunge into your hips. Exhale, forward fold, relax your head. Again, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, shift the hips back. A few more times at your own breath to movement pace. And come back to center. Let's bring both of those knees back in line. I'm going to take some hip circles here. Let's come back to our lower level on the blocks like we did before. Nice flat number 11, 2 fists fit between those blocks there. Tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog, send your hips high. Inhale, send your right leg high, bend the knee, stack open the hip. Keep the shoulders level to the ground. Make some little circles with that right foot, really stretching open the right hip here. Take a deep breath. Inhale, level those hips back out. Exhale, step the foot between the blocks. Drop the back heel in. Let's rise up into our warrior one. Reach your hands up and over your head. So the back heel is rooted down into the mat. The toes are turned out 40 degrees. And I'm lunging forward into my right knee. The knee stacks over the ankle. And I'm pulling both hips forward to the top of the mat. Feel your shoulders melt away from your ears. Take a nice deep breath. Feeling strong here in our warrior posture. Bring your hands down to your blocks. We're going to straighten that right leg for a pyramid pose. Really lengthen the spine. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. You should feel a nice hamstring stretch here. Really press your hands into the blocks to get the torso at 90 or at a parallel line with the ground. Take another deep breath. And let's walk those blocks around the side of our mat into a nice wide forward fold. You can rest your elbows on the blocks here, or you can move the blocks out of the way and bring your hands to the ground. We're in a nice prasarita here, so the heel's a little wider than the big toes. You can bend into one knee and then the other, really stretching the inner thighs. Take another deep breath. Walk it back around to the top of your mat. Make those blocks flat, back down onto the ground, making the number 11. Plank pose, step your right foot back to meet the left. Let's lower halfway for chaturanga, always an option to take your knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Really press through your hands, feel the knees float off the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. All right, other side, send the left leg high. Bend your knees, stack open the hip. Try and keep your shoulders level to the ground. Reach that knee up as high as you can. You can make little circles working out the foot. Take a deep breath. Inhale, three-legged dog, straighten it back out. Exhale, step it forward. Preparing for your warrior one. Drop the back heel in, rise up. Let the back heel grounded down onto the mat, then lunge forward into your front knee until it stacks over the ankle. Feel that stretch along the back of the calf. Lengthen up to the fingertips. Take a nice deep breath here, feeling strong in your warrior one. Let's bring our hands back down to the earth. Preparing for a pyramid pose. You may want to walk that back foot in just a little bit here. Take your blocks up to their highest level. Press your hands into your blocks to really lengthen the spine. Pull that left hip back, right hip forward, and let's breathe. Just trusting the wisdom of this posture. Find your breath. We're seeking that balance of effort and ease. We feel our heart beating, we feel our muscles working, but still find peace and stillness within all of this hard work. And again, walk your blocks around to the right side of your mat. I'm going to switch it around so I'm facing you all. And this time, we're going to rise up to standing. Turn the toes out 45 degrees. Bend your knees here. We're going to be in our goddess posture. So knees and feet are in line with each other. Reach the arms up and over your head. Exhale, back bend, cactus, the elbows, gaze up. Let's bring the hands down by our sides. Inhale, send the left arm high, side bend over to the right. Reaching as far as you can. Take a nice deep breath. Rise back up through center, switch it out. Send the right arm up and over your head. Take a deep breath. And come back through center. Hands on the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, dip your left shoulder to center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip the right shoulder. Take that side to side a few times. Breath to movement. One more time, side to side. Good work. Inhale, reach up, straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, hands back down to the blocks. Walk it forward to the top of your mat again. Lay the blocks down flat on the earth. Step your foot back to your plank pose. Flow through your Chaturanga Vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Let's take our pigeon pose. So pull the right knee forward, laying the shin across your mat. Your left leg is back and behind you. Walk the hands in first. So if you have your blocks, take them with you. Really press your hands into your blocks to lengthen up to the crown of your head. Take a few breaths here. And then begin to walk your hands forward. You can take the blocks with you and rest your elbows on them or bring your hands down to the floor. Relax your head. We'll stay here for about 5 breaths in our pigeon pose, really opening our hips. This is such an important stretch if you're experiencing any low back pain. It really helps to stretch open the glutes and the hamstrings. Another deep breath. And then walk the hands back in. Lay your blocks back down in front of you, flat on the ground. Let's tuck the back toes. We'll send that right leg high for a 3-legged dog. Let's stack open the hip and flip over into your wild thing if you're comfortable with that. The foot finds the ground. Reach the heart up to the sky. Take a deep breath. We'll come back to our downward facing dog, hips high. Let's take pigeon on the other side. Pull the left knee forward. Slide your right leg back and behind you. And take these blocks with you to lengthen through the spine, through the crown of your head. Feel the hips gently open. One side is always a little different than the other. Let's walk the hands forward. And we'll stay here for about 5 breaths, wherever is comfortable for you. Just notice your thoughts. And without judgment, just breathe, release the thought, and return to what you're experiencing in this posture. in this moment. Take another breath here. And we'll slowly begin to rise back up. And those blocks flat on the ground in front of you. Tuck the back toes. Let's send that left leg high, three-legged dog. Find your wild thing if you did so on the other side. Take a deep breath. And come back into your downward facing dog. Look forward, bring your knees down to the earth, and we'll come to a seat. Okay. So let's bring our feet together, knees wide, for Baddha Konasana. Now, I used to be okay with rounding my spine in this posture, but ever since my injury, I've really rethought a lot of these poses, and it's really important to keep the low back nice and straight in this posture. So I'll take it from the side so you can see here. Love the feet together, and no need to pull the feet as close as possible. Allow a little bit of space there. We want to let the hips gently unfold rather than forcing any stretching. Lengthen the spine as tall as you can. An option is stay here. If this feels good and you're feeling sensation in your hips, just rest here and allow everything to gently open. If you'd like to go a little further, grab the ankles, lengthen the spine, and then through this connection of your hands and your shins, begin to pull the heart forward as far as you comfortably can with a straight back. This is where your blocks become useful. You can rest your elbows on your blocks if that feels good. Let's stay here for about 5 breaths. Ujjayi breathing in and out through your nose. Let's take another deep breath. And slowly rise back up. All right, we'll send the legs wide for a wide forward fold. This is one of my favorite postures in yoga. I love it because it's challenging. It feels so good. Let's lengthen the spine. We want the toes turned out, feet flexed. Again, same thing here. We don't want a lot of rounding in the spine. So if you feel really rounded, sit on something. Grab a block or a pillow and really lengthen up through the spine. It will help you find more length. All right, begin to walk the hands forward, keeping the spine nice and long. Again, option to rest your elbows on your blocks. Let's stay here for 5 breaths. Slow, deep breathing in and out through your nose. Notice how each exhale gives you a little more freedom in this posture, a little more space to just be. And begin to walk the hands back up through center. Let's slide the left leg down the inside, or the left hand on the inside of the leg. Send your right arm high, side bend over. Try and keep the elbow over your ear as you breathe here. 2 deep breaths, deep side bend stretch. We'll rise back up through center. Take it on the other side, send the left arm high, reach up and over, trying to keep that elbow right over your ear. And breathe. 2 deep breaths right here. Rise back up. Leave your blocks out of the way. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Humble yogi. Wrap your arms around your shins. Let your head rest on your knees and just breathe here for a few breaths. A gentle reminder to hold yourself, to give yourself love and attention. What is one wish that you have for yourself? What does your heart long for? Breathe this love in, feel it in your body. And gently release. We'll come onto our backs. So go ahead and lay back, have your block near you for a restorative bridge pose. So we're gonna lay down on the ground, knees bent, find your block, lift the hips, slide the block under, starting at the medium height, so like you lay a brick for a house. The block is wide as the hips. Let your hands rest by your sides here. Kind of shimmy the shoulder blades together. Take a few deep breaths, open mouth exhales. Sighing out any tension, letting go of anything that may be left. Just allow yourself to soften. Allow your thoughts to soften. Feel the breath rise and fall in your body. Hips up, slide the block out from underneath you, take the spine down to the mat. Heel toe the feet wide, let your knees knock in together, one hand to your heart, the other to your belly. Return to the intention that you set at the beginning of this practice, or create one now. What do you crave more of in your life? What are you seeking? Why do you do this work? What is your intention? And reach your hands up and over your head, heel toe the feet nice and wide, and just windshield wiper the knees side to side. Let them rock back and forth. Come back to center. Pull your right knee into your chest. Send the left leg long onto your mat. Pull the knee as close as you can towards your collarbone. And then lift your head up, chin to chest, trying to tap your nose to your knee. Take a nice deep breath here, squeezing the core. Then lower your head back down. Keep the knee into your chest. Take a deep breath. And then with your left hand, take the knee across your body for supine twist. Keep your right shoulder on the mat. Your gaze is out to the right as you breathe. And come back to center. Let's switch. Pull that left knee into your chest. Send the right leg long. Let's lift our chin up to our chest, pulling the knee towards us. Squeeze the core. Take a nice deep breath here. And release the head back down. Keep the knee into your chest as you breathe. Your right hand, guide the knee across your body for supine twist. Send the left arm out to the side and breathe here. Twisting away, wringing out any excess. Let go of the ego. Allowing ourselves to just be here in this moment without judgment. Release back to center. Let's pull both knees into our chest. We'll take a happy baby, reach the feet up, grab the outer edges of your feet, Notice if your tailbone lifts off the mat. If it does, just grab the ankles, trying to get the spine as flat down to the earth as you can. You can rock side to side a little bit here. Just a final stretch into our hips and our low back. Let's take a nice deep breath. If it feels good, you can grab your big toes, straighten the legs, take another deep breath. And then draw the knees into your chest. Lift your chin up to your knees, squeeze into a tiny ball. Squeeze your face, your shoulders, your belly, your fingers, your toes. Find an inhale. Exhale, relax into your Shavasana. Arms and legs go long. Palms roll open by your sides. Kind of shimmy the shoulder blades together. The palms roll open, the toes fall out. And you feel your body soften onto the earth. Wiggle your jaw side to side, releasing any tension in your mouth. Your tongue falls from the roof of your mouth, and your face softens. Bring your inner gaze to the space between your eyebrows and rest here in the Anandamaya Kosha, the bliss body, our highest self. You're welcome to stay here in this Shavasana as long as you'd like. When you feel ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Turn your head side to side, bringing life back into the body. Reach your hands up and over your head, point your toes, stretch the body out, take a nice deep breath. And then roll onto either side, supporting your head with your bicep. Just take a few breaths here in this posture of rebirth, reminding ourselves of the cycle of samsara, of rebirth and death. How every moment is a chance to start over, to wipe the slate clean. With each breath, we are reborn. And when you feel ready, begin to press yourself up to a seat. We'll finish our practice today in Sukhasana, our easy seated posture. We'll do a little bit of pranayama. This is our Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So make a peace sign with your hand. You're going to take these peace fingers and you're going to pull them to the palm of your hand so that the other three fingers are up. So this awkward fourth finger and your thumb are going to be the fingers that we use to close each nostril as we breathe. We're going to alternate back and forth, breathing through one side of the nose and then the other. So we'll begin with our thumb on the right nostril. Take a deep breath in to the left side. Switch, close the left nostril, exhale to the right nostril. Same side, inhale. Switch, exhale. Same side, inhale. Switch, exhale. And take this breath side to side, really taking your time. This pranayama exercise helps us to balance the amount of oxygen that's going to both sides of our brain. So throughout the day, we tend to kind of favor one side of our nose as we breathe. So this is opening up all of these passageways, bringing oxygen to the brain so that we're using it to its full potential. This breath also soothes anxiety. If you're feeling anxious, take about 10 rounds of this breath. Continue breathing. If you have trouble sleeping at night, this is a great remedy right before bed. 10 rounds of alternate nostril breathing will help you go to sleep. Let's do 2 more. Let your hands rest on your knees. Take a deep breath in. A deep exhale. Reach the hands up and over your head so the palms touch. Exhale, draw the hands down into your heart space. Let's finish this practice with the sound of Om together. Inhale. It is an honor to share this sacred space with you. Thank you for joining me for practice today and for taking the time to get on your mat and practice self-care. The light within me bows to the light within you. Namaste. Thank you all so much. And as always, I always recommend a meditation practice. So I have a couple other videos that will guide you through a meditation if you're new to meditation or you like being led through that. Otherwise, just have a seat. You're already ready for your meditations. You can pause this video and just stay in your Sukhasana and breathe and enjoy this body bliss. Thank you all so much. Remember, you can donate to my PayPal. Namaste.